Lopez wants it away.
And it's hit deep to left center. Andrew Jones on the run. This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza, and the Mets lead 3-2. Matto behind the net. Sweeps it in front. He's gone! Matto! 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 Stefan Matto! And the Rangers have one more hell of a time, baby! But it's Mount Vancouver! Anthony for three. Puts it in! Next by one with 8.2 remaining!
Joe Namath, number 12, has been the one big sidelight. He's come down here and he says the Jets are going to win. In fact, he doesn't even predict it. He says, I guarantee a Jet victory.
His first at-bat of the game. There's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone has hit a home run. The Yankees go to the World Series.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Come on!
Here we go. June 6th, 4:01 p.m. Welcome to WHPC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Michael Merlo. I'm joined by Matt Leonard, Anthony Deus, Ross Levine, and Elijah Blain. And as I said, it's June 6th. It's a Monday. New York is currently at the top of the baseball world.
How great is that? How fantastic is that? For just no matter who you're a fan of right now, just to know these teams are so good right now. It's been a long time since both teams have been good at the same time, so this is fantastic.
This good at the same time.
Yeah.
If this was, I had a guy at work come up to me and say it to me 4 times. If the playoffs worked like it was in the 60s, the Mets and the Yankees would play each other in the World Series right now.
Yeah.
They still
might. They still could.
They still could. I find it doubtful. I don't want it to happen, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Why is that, Mike? Which team's going to win, Mike?
Well, not that I don't think the Mets would have a chance. I just don't know if I could deal with that stress.
I like the stress us Ranger fans are going through, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the Rangers in a little bit. I have a few really good points about the Rangers after watching that game, flipping between the Mets and the Rangers yesterday.
How many months? So it took you 4 months to be all in.
I mean, what do you mean all in? I stated I was a Ranger fan, right?
Yes.
We know that.
You never went back on like your Nets fan. You like stated that
no,
and
but
you stuck
he was like
casual.
I can't watch it. I can't. There was one game where he's like, I can't watch it. I just can't. You said that once.
That's your impression?
That's pretty good.
Is it?
That's not bad.
I don't think so.
you.
It's not great, but it's not bad.
No, it's not good at all.
Okay.
No, but the point is, you were like, I can't watch it.
No, there was a point where I said, it's just.
But you're all in now, and that's the most
It's
important
playoff
thing.
hockey.
That's the most important thing.
It's very intense.
You can't resist it.
That every minute, it is so intense that anything can happen. Well, it's a blowout, obviously, but we really haven't seen too many blowouts.
What game 1 happened?
Yeah, that I guess, but the Rangers are also winning, so it's like kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get to hockey in a few minutes. We are going to start, and I was going to start with the Mets, but I am going to start with the Yankees because I am going to make some people mad. And if you want to join the show, 516-572-7440, baseball fans, please call in to join. We want to hear from you, New York baseball fans, and if you're a fan of anybody else, please call as well. But I do want to say this. Number one, as I said and as Matt said, this is the first time in a while these teams are this good at the same time. I think since 1988. Okay? This is special. Special what these two teams are doing right now. Can we stop comparing them? Who the hell cares? You think I care whether or not the Yankees are better than the Mets at this point? I mean, come on.
I don't think
It doesn't
you
matter
care,
until
but
the World Series.
But to be honest, I think there's somebody else that cares.
If I'm going to care, hold on, who cares?
The man in the Warriors shirt.
Shut up.
He cares.
You think he cares?
No, I don't care if the Yankees are better right now. I don't care who's better out of the two of them.
Fair enough.
It doesn't matter until the World Series.
We had to clear the air. We had to clear the air.
No, we didn't.
I'm under the impression with you that the Yankees do live a little bit rent-free in your head.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Mike, do you second that motion?
It's not just his head. I think it's a majority of Mets fans' heads.
How many times have I told you it's not about the Yankees, it's about bothering you on this show, and it works every time.
It does it, though?
Yes, you say this every time, and it aggravates you every time, so I'm doing my job.
I don't think it does. But you shouldn't be worried. As a Met fan, you should be happy with the way things have gone.
I'm not worried at all.
See, and there you go, right there, little brother dag. That's a little
Yes, it is.
That's a little brother dag.
Okay, how?
You should be happy.
Considering last year.
You should be happy that everything's going well, little brother. Don't you worry.
No, you're misconstruing what I said.
I know it doesn't happen often.
Michael.
I'm so used to being at the top.
Oh,
in your suit.
405.
Your suit.
Write that down, 405. I meant it in the sense that you look at the Mets last year and how tough it was to watch down the stretch. Right now, I'm just saying you should be happy considering the progress that was made.
Yeah.
That's all it was. It wasn't a shot. It wasn't.
I'm thrilled. And listen, I'm a Mets fan. I could care less what the Yankees do, to be completely honest with you. I think it's great that both teams are this good. I think it makes for an incredibly exciting summer. I think it makes for those Subway Series games in a couple months.
Yep.
Just, what everybody should be watching. Every baseball fan should turn their TVs off and turn that on. I think it makes it must-watch TV. But right now, I don't care about the Yankees. I don't, other than that I have to talk about them on this show. I don't care how the Yankees do. And that's my problem with other Met fans, that they're so invested. Oh, I hope the Yankees lose tonight. Oh, my God. Who cares? I'll care when my team has to play them. If it's the World Series, when it's in a couple of months, I want to beat them.
Yep.
I'll care if it comes to a point where we have a Subway Series, World Series.
Well, it's the same as any other team when you play them in the Subway Series in the regular season. It's just, you want to get wins and beat them, and obviously it's a rivalry, but, it's not like it isn't the same for me. We're playing the Braves and the division's close.
No, I hope the Phillies lose every single game they possibly can.
Yeah, it's different than divisional rival. It's different.
Well, that's interesting because, at least from my perspective, I hope the Mets do well. Don't give me a smile. I'm just saying, like, if I turn on the TV, like I'm watching the Dodgers series, I go, all right, let's see if the Mets can pull this out. I'd like to see them pull the win out.
You watched the game yesterday?
I was at the Yankee game and then at the Ranger.
Oh, you were at the Peacock game.
I missed. No, I was.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, how much money do you have?
Yes, because I flew down after the Yankee game at 11:35. I caught a flight from JFK down to Tampa. Bought ice level tickets to Amalie Arena and watched my Rangers.
There you
go. No, but I should say, like, I don't have that outlook where I'm like, I hope they lose. I'm not that type of Yankee fan.
I know you're not. I know you are a good Yankee fan.
It's appreciated. Yes. You and Ross, both of you. And Elijah, you too. It's appreciated. I forgot you're a Yankee fan.
I think Elijah roots against the Mets.
Really?
No,
I kind of agree.
I kind
of agree with you.
This is my thing about the Mets. I don't really care if they win or lose, but I kind of tend towards liking if they lose.
Okay. There it is.
He's an LOL Mets type of guy.
Yeah,
Mets do something.
a little bit.
He's
But,
definitely that guy.
I do respect them, and I do respect their fans, but I think it's kind of annoying when they chant "Yankees suck" when they're.
That's the point. It's when you get to a point where you're saying stuff at another. You're not even at the game. They're not even playing.
And those are the fans I have a problem with.
Good.
It's like why? Well, what is so necessary about chanting that?
If you're playing the Yankees, fine.
Of course. Yeah. There's your prerogative to do so.
Yes.
I use that the wrong way, but
you're playing the Nationals. The Yankees are in like L.A. There's no reason to do that.
Exactly. Yeah. And what I like about both teams being good is that on a day where the Yankees are away, if I want to go to a ball game, I could go to Citi Field, watch a good baseball game,
and it's easier.
It is
most
way
of the time.
Oh, you're telling me 11:30, 9 o'clock subways? You're telling me that's
And most of the time, you can watch them on SMY. Unlike the Yankees, especially this weekend.
Listen.
The Mets are on Apple TV Friday.
Yeah.
So
are they really?
They are.
Yeah, they are.
Really?
That might be Syndergaard's start for the Angels, by the way.
Oh, people will go crazy.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
The only thing the Mets don't have is the Prime Video.
And by the way, the Amazon. I do want to talk about these streaming services for a second because the Yankees were on Apple, and I'm not saying this is a joke. I'm saying this for real. The Yankees were on Apple TV. That's not their fault. That was Friday night, and then Sunday, which was not their fault again. They were on Peacock at 11:30 a.m. Anthony was there. This sucks. I mean, it really
Listen,
does.
I'm very broken up that I didn't, spend my time watching NBC baseball.
Paying $5
I'm
to watch
very
NBC
broken
baseball.
up by that.
By the way, let me just say this because I have almost all streaming services, so I don't have a problem with this. Peacock, it was really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was good. That guy Benetti, I think his name's Jason Benetti.
Oh, he's great.
The play-by-play guy.
I didn't know that was him.
I think he's really good. I might be getting the name wrong.
You're right. Jason Benetti's right. He's fantastic.
This is interesting because because I obviously was at the game. If the broadcast was so good, And especially that NBC lost the rights to the Stanley Cup playoffs. That was the big thing besides football season. You think, hey, maybe a venture would be NBC and afternoon baseball, right? That's a venture you perhaps take after.
Not as
Comcast
big.
want to promote
but
their,
and then
streaming service.
Your streaming service
Yeah.
that, what do you offer? One Notre Dame game a year? What's the draw outside?
You get like English Premier League games. I don't know how many people really realistically are going to watch that here.
About that.
Well, I don't even.
I mean, they have an audience in America, but not as much as baseball.
But you'd think that NBC would at least simulcast it, or Peacock would have multiple games on the streaming service. NBC would have Sunday afternoon game.
It's weird.
Day.
No, it's weird. But I thought the broadcast was good. And if you guys watched yesterday on Peacock, you have one person from Yes. So you basically have one person from each booth or each regional network. So the Yankees had somebody, John Flaherty. And then the Tigers had Jack Morris.
Yeah.
So I like that idea, especially for a nationally televised game with a solid play-by-play guy.
And
Apple TV is a bleep show. It's terrible.
Well, that's good at least because I really like that setup. But the problem is you have to go behind a paywall for $5 that you're going to watch because I believe the Yankees only did it this one time. So if you're a Yankee fan, you just give $5 to watch a game and that's it.
Yeah.
Unless you're a big baseball fan and then you wait every Sunday. But the one good thing was going to an afternoon game like that at 11:30 was beautiful.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. Was it a little weird being in the ballpark?
It was a little. It was a little weird at 11:30 seeing people double fisting tall boys. It was very weird at that point.
That was probably Anthony himself.
It was not me. But the subway ride was actually easier. Nobody was on the subway going in there. It was a nice commute. It was nice having afternoon baseball. It was the way the sun was hitting the field. It was very nice.
It was a beautiful weekend.
Beautiful day.
Oh, today was great too.
And and that's the problem. You should be doing this on your regularly, not because a deal you have with the streaming service.
You like 11:30 a.m. baseball?
Oh, I love it.
Really?
Yes.
You know what? Like when the NFL season and the MLB season overlaps, that should be the the standard.
Get a game in before the 1 o'clock games.
Yeah,
because you're not getting it in.
Well,
you'd have to make it really early, and they're not going to do that.
They're not going to do 10 a.m. But it's not a bad idea. On a regular season game, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Even
during football season?
No, not during football.
They can't
season.
do it during football season.
That's the problem you run into.
It's impossible to do it during football.
Well, NBC only has Sunday night.
I'm saying you're not going to. Let's say the game is at 11:30 on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Majority of the people are going to turn on football at.
Well, I'll be honest with you. The game should have ended at 1:30.
Yeah.
Sunday game should have ended at 1:30.
2-hour game.
It went by really quickly, and then they decided, Miguel Castro, you go in, try and lose us this game.
Yeah, Miguel Castro.
Which I thought, and I said to my friends, I go, I think we won the trade. I think we won the Miguel.
I think you did too.
And I don't know about that because he's not pitching well. I mean, when he first got here, he was pitching decently. Now it's falling off a cliff.
I like Joely.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like Joely.
Maybe you guys want
I like him sometimes. He's very inconsistent for me.
The Yankees did go 6-0 on the homestand, though. They beat the Angels, who are just, oh my God. And listen,
you missed it. You missed it on Friday. I mean, didn't I tell you there was something fishy about this team?
About what?
The way they
He's been
started off
saying
the
it for
season.
like a week. Yeah, he's been saying they're going to collapse.
I never thought they were going to be able to sustain this success.
Hitting's half the game, and your hitting fell off a cliff as well. You have no pitching. Your good hitting disappeared.
And by the way, how many good hitters do they actually have? Taylor Ward is off to a fantastic start.
He's hurt.
Okay, he's back.
No, he just went on the IL yesterday.
Oh, wow. So he's hurt.
Hamstring injury.
Ohtani and Trout.
Yep.
And by the way, Trout's on over 20-something.
Jared Walsh, if he's
Jared Walsh,
right.
Okay, and Rendon's not been the same player.
Well,
yeah,
he got the money and ran. What are you going to do about that?
Exactly. So what is good about this team? Their bullpen isn't great. Their starting staff isn't that great.
No. Hey, you see those City Connect jerseys though?
Oh
They're all right.
God,
they're okay.
They're
better than the Rockies. They're better than the Rockies.
It's like they always try to put a bandage over like a wound, like a giant wound.
They're terrible.
Yeah, it's their core like the way they built this team is broken. It's like a 10-year thing where they just refuse to actually build something with their pitching.
Right, and they spend so much money.
On it. Yeah.
So much money. And you think they should be winning with the amount of money
they're kind of like a AL version of the Phillies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Here we go. May 9th, 2022. Some genius came onto this radio station and said this. I'll tell you one thing right now. You want a bold prediction before we get to hockey?
Okay.
This is
should I write this down?
I don't even think it should be bold. Yeah, let me give you a date, okay? Because somebody's getting fired. Let me give you a date.
May 9th.
Okay? No.
Not today's date. Okay, different date.
Got to find a date here. All right, so this team is about to play a stretch of games that if I told you, you'd say, holy crap. Okay, perfect. June 10th, Friday. Actually, no. He'll be fired June 9th. Okay?
A month from today.
He will not get on the plane June 9th to go home to Philadelphia.
Oh!
Really? Joe Girardi will be fired. Can I read you this next stretch of games for them?
Sure, just let me mark this down. So what should I... Because I want to revisit this.
Oh, yeah, so June 9th, they will play a 2-10 game in Milwaukee. He won't get on the plane and come back home for the Diamondbacks. Wow. Who's that?
Who is that?
Who is that?
Is that Krang?
No.
Is that correct?
That's some genius. Oh, that was me.
What a prediction.
I know. You know, it was easy. It's too easy. This team, man.
And they announced it in such a weird way, too.
Friday, right before their game against the Angels, instead of doing it on the off day.
And then they won. They won 10-0 that game. Correct?
Yeah. Well, no. They won 6-5 against the Giants, and then they fired him.
They
fired
won
him.
The game. A game.
Only
after
the
they fired
Phillies fired Tony after a win.
Yeah.
Only the Phillies do that.
It was. Listen,
That's why they're the Phillies.
3-0 over the weekend, though.
Well, that's because the Angels are terrible.
They are
time
terrible.
win. Big time win on Sunday.
No, it was. And look, I still think they're going to fall back to earth. The Phillies. I am not scared of the Phillies. I don't care what they did against the Angels. The Angels are horrendous, and also you have to factor into the Phillies are now playing the Brewers. I mean, I think the Phillies will fall back to earth. But look, the offense could always come to life. And that could have been even with Joe Girardi. I personally think no manager can manage that team. I just think that front office is disgusting.
The Phillies they scapegoated Girardi because the problem is Dave Dombrowski.
And we asked this question on Friday. When is it? How much rope are you going to give Dave Dombrowski?
Well,
I mean, you've had
he
number
just
of years.
there.
He just got there. He probably convinced Middleton, the owner, John Middleton, to spend all this money. They spent a ton of money the last couple of years to try and go for it. They're over the luxury tax. So it depends whether or not the owner is really, really mad and wants to get rid of him, or he feels like, well, I've already invested so much money, I might as well keep this guy and see him completely through. The smart move would be to let him go, but we know they're not going to make that smart move. I believe Dave Dombrowski will be here for a long time.
Wow.
Be there for a long time.
And you're going to be happy about it.
Oh, thrilled.
That's going to be incredible for the Mets.
I mean, they are incapable. Hey, their farm system has been bad for years.
Yeah.
Think about it. They went through a rebuild, and they still don't have a good farm system, and they still don't have players that came up through the farm system. Still.
They just, every player that goes to the Phillies and wears the uniform, it doesn't matter who it is. They're terrible. That's the difference between good organizations and bad organizations. You have to be able to develop. The Phillies have not done that regardless.
They haven't drafted well either.
No.
They haven't drafted well, and also that's a big thing. Joe Girardi will get another job. I don't think this is not the end for Joe Girardi. He'll probably go back to TV, and somebody else will hire him.
I'll tell you what, though, and Michael Kay used this comparison when talking about Buck Showalter. He had asked Buck Showalter, I never knew you were into Shakira, because that thing with Shakira and Buck came in. And he said to Michael, he goes, Michael, I have to be involved with these guys with what these guys do, who they listen to, what they watch, things like that. Because I got to be able to connect with them and relate to them somehow. Because, we're here for 180 days, hopefully longer. We're going to become close.
I love Buck Showalter. I don't think that's why he likes Shakira. I don't think it's her music.
No, but that's just the example.
Yeah.
Buck Showalter wants to get closer with his players, be there for them.
Yeah.
Joe Girardi seems like a drill sergeant, and guys didn't want to play for him.
I mean, he won a World Series.
And I believe that Joe Girardi will actually go through a little bit of a stretch here where I believe he'll get another job, but it won't be for a few years. I think he'll
go to media.
He'll go to media for a few years, maybe 4 or 5 years, like Buck did, and then get a job, later on.
I mean, he did win a World Series with the Yankees.
He won a World Series with a very good team in a different time period of baseball. Baseball has changed completely.
But here's what I'll say, though, about towards the end of his tenure with the New York Yankees, he did not have great teams, and he got a lot out of those teams. And so he's still a good manager. Is he an elite manager? Maybe not anymore, but he's a very good manager.
You can win with him.
I don't think this is his fault,
No.
but he does need a good team to win. That's my opinion.
And that's the other thing.
Yankees had talent. Let's not say the Yankees didn't have talent.
No,
they had talent on their roster.
Well,
let's talk about the 2013, 2014, 2015 teams that reached over 500.
Yeah.
They weren't amazing.
Yeah, but he got the most out of them. They still won their 88, 87 games. Look, it's always going to come down to your talent. I mean, if you can have a crappy manager, if you have a great team, I mean, you're going to get away with it. I mean, you could win with that. If Joe Girardi managed the New York Yankees right now, do you think their record is where it is right now? I actually think it is.
I think it would be a little less, but I think they'd be good in the lead in the division, but not as good. Really? I believe that. Yeah, I believe that.
Okay.
I believe manager is important, as other people don't believe that. I think managers are very, very important in this game, and I think Aaron Boone's doing a fantastic job.
I think he really matured into his role.
I think he was always good. I think this guy was bad.
But I'm going to criticize him for just one small thing, and that's Sunday's game.
Oh, here we go.
You won the game.
My next
don't give me that, Ross. Don't give me that.
You won.
Don't say that, Ross.
You won the game against an awful Tigers.
You had no reason to bring Miguel Castro in. You had no reason.
Who are they going to bring in?
You didn't have to.
Our bullpen
just let him. Just let it ride.
Shot.
It's shot. I know Michael King was very good yesterday.
I mean,
and listen, I want to complain about the Yankee bullpen a tiny bit, but Mets bullpen, everything, all the stops have to come out.
Oh, we're gonna get to them in a little bit. Thought they had a good weekend.
Yeah,
they did. This is the one thing I do want to get to, though.
Okay,
I'm sitting here listening to the radio the other day, sports radio, Saturday, while I'm delivering pizza, and the people on the radio, that station I was listening to, that they have do Saturday nights. I think you can relate. Are terrible. Terrible. It's unlistenable. But I have fans of the Yankees calling up and complaining. Complaining about this team. And at that point, we're 5-0 on the homestand and 38-15 on the season. That's why with the best record in baseball.
And it's why, when I listen to, the Michael K show and I hear about, they got to take Gallo and Hicks out of the lineup. They're not great. I'm like, who cares? Like, seriously, your team is 39-15.
Right,
who cares? Stop complaining about one thing. I'm turning the TV off and moving on to the next station.
You're winning in spite of these guys.
Yes.
Do you realize how impressive that is?
I get that. But you're telling me you can't make adjustments with this
You're winning
at the deadline?
Listen, you're winning.
They're not flaws? And I'm not saying...
they're flaws. I agree with you. They're not good players. They should be shipped out. But there is no reason to sit here and complain about it.
You're winning.
Yeah, but look at that scenario.
You're winning.
Saturday night, you're calling up, complaining about the Yankees. What else?
Until your team it'll never happen because you have a very good team. But until your team loses 7-8 in a row, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that happened, I don't want to hear any complaints.
But
don't.
How many games do you have to lose until you address the problem?
Well, you're never going to lose because your team keeps winning.
They're so good right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's the...
They're on an historic stretch. Their pitching staff has been unbelievable.
I agree. I wouldn't call up a radio station to complain about Hicks or Gallo, but I think it's a problem that needs to be addressed.
It'll be addressed. They will find replacements for these guys.
And even if it's not addressed, look how well they're playing with these guys on the roster.
I think Gallo is going to stay with the team. I think Hicks, we need to address the center field position.
But I'm saying even if they don't, they're the best team in baseball with this problem they have.
Yes.
What's the problem?
It doesn't matter. You're
winning. They can be better at the deadline. But right now, enjoy this.
Okay.
And this is my point. There needs to be adjustments made down the line.
Yes.
Clearly.
No need to complain.
No need to. I mean, you can complain about, Hicks is playing terrible.
I mean, these guys.
But you can't be like, this team is going to lose.
They made it seem like the sky was falling because these guys were still on the team. I'm like, please, for the love of
that's
God,
the person. That's
it never
not.
stops.
That's
It
not
never
the
stops. But
majority.
that's Yankee fans. Those are Yankee fans. Never ever satisfied.
I have to agree with
They
them.
can win the World Series this year, and Hicks and Gallo would still be on this team, and they'd still complain if they were on the team. That's what Yankee fans
telling
are.
you, I don't go to Yankee Stadium a ton, but I almost wish I went, and I hope they get destroyed, because that way I want to see fans in pain, because guess what? Even when they win, they're still in pain.
Hold on.
That's what happens. Like, I was in pain against the Rangers. Guess what? That's reasonable pain. The Yankees is not pain at all. They're winning anyway.
Ross is a Yankees fan.
They're winning. Who the heck cares?
I think you're talking about like a very minority of Yankees fans. Every Yankees fan I know, they're really happy with winning right now. And
I hear a lot more complaints than happy. I'm just saying.
What it is it's that typical Yankee fan persona you hear about in the media. That's what it is.
but I think it's a little bit exaggerated.
I don't know. A lot of Yankee fans complain a lot about these guys that aren't hitting and don't realize the team has the best record in baseball by a good margin right now.
Yeah, by a very good margin. All right, let's talk about the team on the other side of town. You are listening to WHPC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. 516-572-7440 to join the show. The New York Metropolitans.
All right.
So they go to L.A., obviously, we know that. And they lose the first two games. They did not play well. I mean, they really did not play. They did not hit the ball.
Bats went to sleep.
The first game, they pitched very well Thursday night. Walker, I thought, was fine. 2 runs against the Dodgers. I'll take it. And the bullpen was good. Friday night, don't hit at all. Gave up runs. Game over. And then Pete Alonso takes over. And I'm just going to say this about this guy. Pete, we talk a lot about Aaron Judge. And by the way, his contract, Anthony, went up a lot this homestand. A lot of money.
45?
Maybe $450,000 this weekend. But Pete Alonso is playing like an MVP right now. I don't think that could be contested. Offensively, he has been that good for this
What
team.
do you think about a Aaron Judge and Pete Alonso MVPs for each league? Imagine that.
That'd be nice. That'd
I
be
want to
great.
see him golf against the home run derby. That'd be fun.
Judge is too scared of the home run derby.
I know he is.
No, he won it.
No, but then he went into a slump after it. Now he's afraid he's going to mess up his swing or his shoulder or whatever. I get that.
But all seriousness, the Mets did split the series with the Dodgers. They won the last 2 games. And it's so funny the way baseball works. Because I'm not taking anything away from Tony Gonsolin and Tyler Anderson, the 2 starting pitchers for the Dodgers who won the first 2 games of the series. They've been great, especially Gonsolin's been unbelievable this season. But the Mets had David Peterson on Saturday night and Trevor Williams on Sunday afternoon. And they were facing Walker Buehler and Julio Urias. And a Mets fan, even an optimistic Mets fan, would have said, there's a chance we get swept with these 2 guys on the mound, with who we have on the mound. And they find a way to win those 2 games and split a series against, in my opinion, the best team in baseball. And it felt like a playoff atmosphere. I think it's a preview of what could possibly be an NLCS, an epic NLCS. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think of this game?
You have to be impressed with every pitcher. They pitch decently well. Aside from maybe like Bassett showed a little bit, but he got 6 innings in, whatever.
That error on Eduardo Escobar, which led to the home run.
Yeah, that was bad. But Pearson was okay.
He had some bad luck in that inning.
Yes, he did.
Honest to God, you might call me crazy. I didn't think he was bad.
I don't think he was bad either. I thought he was good. And
he lost control. He walked too many guys.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Pearson. Look, when there's plays that need to be made behind him, you gotta just make the plays. Yeah. Alonso just threw the ball too wide, and Lindor couldn't get to the bag. However, what we've seen from this team all season, they bounce back after giving up runs. They respond with their own runs, and particularly Alonso after the error, because he hit the 2-run homer, and he gave them the lead. He hits another home run. He gives them a 3-run homer, 9-4.
Puts the game away.
Puts the game away, and also and then you forward to yesterday's game. They're down 2-0. Marte hits a homer, and the 8th inning they score 3 runs, and they come back. You win that game, and I thought the biggest highlight of each game, taking Pearson out during an at bat. Yeah, that was big. I've never seen that a lot.
You don't see that a lot. I thought it was
often.
great. That was an old school move from Buck Showalter.
Yeah, and Pearson was so pissed off when he went to the bench. I loved it, though. It was great.
You like seeing people in pain, Ross,
Well,
apparently.
if that's what makes him better, do it.
I'm wondering what you think of this, Ross, because I know we're going all over the series, but yesterday's game, bottom of the 8th, Buck goes to Diaz for the top of the order. I loved it.
I think that's a great move. I understand, like, in reality, it didn't fully work out because Lugo did struggle in the 9th inning, but it was a smart move.
It was a very smart move.
Yeah, and, look, he did his job. He got the big timeouts, guys out. Look, Lugo didn't do his job. That's it. I mean, you got to blame the player, too. But at the same time, again, they bounced back from that because they got a run off Craig Kimbrell. It's hard to score a run against Craig Kimbrell. And Medina, out of all the people.
Oh, yeah.
Out of all the people that he's never been a closer in his life. And he gets the save. He gets the teeth of the guy's order out, like the heart of the order.
The 3 hardest hitters back to back to back in the league.
Yeah, and honestly, I never thought I would be saying this. The catcher's interference was a blessing in disguise. It really was. It was the best thing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, because you took their best hitter out, and Trey Turner was like, because he's been like their best run producer. I'm like, you don't want the bat in your hands? Like, you're complaining? Okay.
I cannot believe that he complained, considering how he is against the Mets. And honest to God, I think that was all the Dodgers just not respecting Adonis Medina because he wanted to get onto first base. He probably knew with Tomas Nido's arm they were not going to even throw down, so they knew he was going to be on second base. So to have the winning run now on second, a single wins the game easily. If Will Smith hits a single in the bottom of the 9th yesterday, they win with Turner on second base, 2 outs.
Yep.
And Medina oh my God, I cannot believe Adonis Medina gets them out of that game and wins.
Yeah.
And, before the series started, a lot of the players were saying, it's good to play the best, but, we don't view it as the fans and the media view it, a benchmark game, almost like a test for the Mets. But you could tell after that game, during the interviews post-game, especially G.D. Davis, he was amped up, and they were very happy to get out of there with a split like that, to play them that tough. And I believe that the Dodgers were kind of sent a message here, like, you may not be able to walk through the NL or be the NL's best team like you've been for the past few years. There might be a little challenge.
Did you see the Buck Showalter quote when he put Medina in?
Yes. Can I read this?
Yeah, go ahead. You can read it.
So Medina, listen, he's bounced around, everywhere, minor leagues, DFA, whatever, and he's made 10 appearances in the big leagues so far. Has to pitch through, like we said, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Trey Turner. And before Medina threw his first pitch, Buck Showalter turned to his pitching coach and said, "We might be about to witness an ambush here." Jeremy Hefner said, "By the Dodgers?" And he goes, "By our pitcher."
By the way, Hefner, I love Hefner. He's been great. What are you telling? Some of these relievers, like then, like right afterwards, they give up like a base hit or like something. Like what are you telling these guys? Like, what are you doing?
It's funny. Earlier in the year, like every time he came out, the pitcher would settle in, but lately they haven't been.
I'm like, what? Ignore what he's saying. I don't know.
I don't think it means anything. To be honest with you,
I know, but like, what are you telling? You hear on the radio, it's like, hey, maybe you pitch around him and like get to the next hitter. Well, I don't mind him going after him. Just don't give a double. I don't mind going after him. You go after him, whatever.
The Mets do this without Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer and Tyler McGill, Tyler McGill made a rehab start appearance yesterday. Went like 3 2/3 innings, 5 strikeouts, 2 runs, 3 hits, something like that. So he may need one more if they don't know yet. There's a chance he joins the team in Anaheim this weekend.
Ooh.
Which would be nice. So I don't know if they're going to have him throw another rehab start. It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
It's probably been
2 or 3 weeks.
3 weeks, I think, from June 6th. Almost a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The last month has really flown.
Yeah, he'll be fine, McGill. He'll be fine when he comes back, I think.
I want to see him face Syndergaard.
I think he'll beat Syndergaard. I think
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Syndergaard, he's not looking too hot recently.
No. You know what, though? We're talking about the Angels, and I've been talking about the Angels a lot lately. They're going to get hot. They're going to eventually get hot, and it's going to be next week.
I was going to say something very dumb, but if this keeps up, like, what's the goal of the Angels? Like, do you look to sell off?
They don't know what they're doing.
Ooh.
You have to.
What are they going to sell off?
Rendon.
I think they should trade. No, don't trade Mike Trout. That's a joke. That's a joke.
They should.
No, I was thinking about it. Like, if you have nowhere to go and your core is very rotten, which they are, they're pitching. They have no pitching at all. Do you think of a Mike Trout trade?
No, they have untradeable pieces.
They're not going to trade. I mean, I think they could have traded Trout years ago. I don't think they're going to trade him now.
Before he signed that contract. Yeah,
It is.
Good luck moving.
Very difficult to move a $420 million contract. I know that's not what it is right now. It's a little less, but it is almost impossible.
It's over three something at this point, right?
By the way, good news.
Okay.
The good news is for you Met fans. It's better news.
What's the news?
Sunday night against the Angels. Mets will be playing Noah Syndergaard, but it's on.
I'll take that.
But it's only on ESPN.
It's on ESPN.
Yeah.
I will take that over Apple TV on Friday.
Well, is Howie Rose going to be on radio?
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, he's not.
Oh, he's not.
I really like Wayne Randazzo though.
I do like Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne's great.
And the guy, this new kid, Jake Eisenberg. He's not bad.
He's not bad. He actually called the final strike yesterday. Which
How was it?
He was okay.
I listened to it also.
He does kind of sound like
too Midwesterny.
He sounds like a fan a little bit. Like I don't know.
I'll go back and listen.
He's okay. I mean, I definitely prefer Howie, but he's very good.
Howie's the GOAT.
Yeah, Howie's the GOAT.
He's amazing. So is Gary, but Howie's
great.
Yeah. Howie's amazing. What are we talking about? So that's a Sunday night baseball.
According to the probables on ESPN's app, it's on Sunday night, which sucks because you're not going to have the SNY broadcast.
Yeah.
So he's making a start. I'm guessing. Yeah. So he pitched when? Tuesday? He pitched last Tuesday. So they have a 6-man rotation.
And he's going to be pitching tonight?
So he's pitching tonight, and then so then Sunday would make sense.
Okay.
Oh, I hope. Oh my God.
I want it to be with Saturday so bad.
We gotta rock this guy. The
Saturday's
Mets
on SNY.
Have to rock Syndergaard. Have to. Steve Cohen made a few comments before the game on Friday at Dodger Stadium. He made the trip to go watch his team play. Mets have a new pitching machine. Did you see this?
Yes, they can imitate any windup or something. How is that possible, by the way?
I don't know.
What is this?
New pitching machine they're getting from Canada. It costs a lot of money.
That's so crazy.
It's waiting for them in New York. It imitates every pitcher's delivery. So if they want to see Clayton Kershaw whenever they want, they go see Clayton Kershaw in the batting cage. So that's pretty cool.
You know what I want to see? I want to see this guy Rogers from the Giants. I want to see his delivery imitated by something.
Oh my God!
You ever see him pitch?
Yes, that'd be funny.
I don't understand.
Taylor Rogers or Tyler Rogers, whatever it is.
That's why I said Rogers. I know which one he is, but yeah.
He also said he's never satisfied. He's very happy with the start, but never satisfied.
I mean, and look, the Mets definitely are not. They're not afraid to say tough love either when it comes to their front office or their manager, because first you had the whole thing with Peterson, and then you had the whole thing with Dom Smith sending him down. So they.
We didn't even get to talk about that.
They're not afraid to put their foot down.
I love the fact that Dom Smith is in AAA right now.
He's playing every day like he wanted.
And you know what's really funny, Ross? I was going back and trying to find this clip of Joe Girardi, and I stumbled across an argument me and you had about Dom Smith. And you had it was a month ago.
Did you put this in?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was a month ago, and you were saying how they should trade him, and I'm like, well, you really can't trade him yet. It's not worth it, and he just wasn't playing well, and he really wasn't, and he's still playing terrible. I think it's the best thing possible to actually raise his value. Possibly, you have him in AAA. If he starts to hit well, catch fire, never bring him back up, and just trade him from there. I think that's where they get the most value from him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, for Dom Smith, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, he seems like a guy that wants to play every day. I understand his frustration for maybe not getting enough at bats. At the same time, you're batting 186. I mean, you are what you are. I mean, he's never been good other than 2020. I mean, that's really it. I mean, 2020 was very good. But again, this is what happens when you chirp. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just a fact. I'm telling you, when he said about what he said to, whatever on Twitter or whatever about Buck Showalter not putting him in the lineup, you knew it was over. I mean, and also when you saw Nick Plummer hit a couple of home runs, you knew it was definitely over then.
That was great. I love how that kind of like corresponded.
Yeah, you knew it was over.
After me and Matt made fun of that during a
made fun of this thing Nick Plummer signing,
in halftime for a NCC.
We're like, who's Nick Plummer? What is this?
You made fun of that signing?
Well, because we didn't know who he was.
Oh, come on, I didn't know who he was either. But when I read an article
at the time, the Mets were bad.
I read an article about it was right in the beginning of free agency, and I had read an article about Plummer, how he was one of the best players in AAA last season, and the Mets had nobody really wanted him for a major league contract because they didn't want to waste the money on him, and the Mets said, "Give him to us. We want him."
Nice acquisition.
Nice acquisition. That's what good teams do.
Did you see the swing comp for him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even have to look at a comp. I see Michael Conforto when he went opposite field.
Yep.
That's what I see.
Almost identical.
It's almost identical.
It's scary.
Give him number 30 right now. Give him the number.
They should.
Might as well. I'm trying to look for a stat about the Yankees. No.
No one's wearing 30? Okay.
I'm trying to look for a stat that the Yankees pitching stat, but I can't find it.
I have a question. So the All-Star voting starts pretty soon. I think it's like in 2 days. How many starters do you think we can get?
The Yankees?
Yeah.
Judge.
Cortez.
No, maybe not a starter. I don't know.
I think he'll start. Why wouldn't he start? Who would start?
I mean, they usually go for the bigger names start the All-Star game. Start.
Right now, he would start.
He's been the best, I agree.
Okay,
Verlander's I'm thinking.
Take starting pitcher out. We don't vote on that. Judge would start, and that's it. Judge would start.
Well, like
maybe Rizzo.
No, Rizzo's been been bad.
Rizzo,
he's hit a lot of home runs.
No. He hasn't been. He was terrible in the month of May.
He had a great base running game yesterday.
Yes.
Who else would the Yankees get? Stanton probably.
No, he wouldn't start.
No, he's not going to start. We're saying get in.
Oh, get in. Okay.
Get in. Yeah, that's
Clay Holmes would get in.
Clay Holmes would get in.
Nestor, maybe Cole, maybe Tyone. You're getting more pitchers than anything else.
3/5 that rotation.
Yeah, you get more. That's how good they've been. The starting rotation.
Well, I'm spoiled. I just realized.
I read a crazy stat about the Yankees starting pitchers. Very quick. We didn't get to this when we talked about it. We really have to. I mean, it's 4:42. Oh my god, too much. Listen, that's what happens when baseball's on top right now. Miguel Andujar wants out of the Bronx. This isn't the first time he has requested a trade, but he wants out. I thought he was playing pretty well. I know you really love Andujar.
I love that he got another chance, and I'm not trying to sound spoiled here, but I get his perspective of why he's upset. I mean, Gallo gets that, and I understand there's money behind the Gallo contract and the Hicks contract, but his thought is probably, I'm playing very well right now. I've worked my way back up, and you're giving Hicks and Gallo a long leash where I could be playing their position.
Well, just look at this right here. And I think the only reason why he's not here is probably because he can't play center field, and these two guys can. But either way, let's look at it like this, because Judge can play center field. If you compare it to what the Mets did with Cano, they made the baseball decision. Cano has been terrible. Sure, there's money tied to his contract, but the Mets cut him and kept Jankowski and Dom Smith here and Luis Guillorme here. Why the Yankees could have kept him and cut Hicks.
Yeah.
That's just not how.
They didn't make the baseball decision here. That would be my problem with the Yankees, and now they're forced. They're going to be forced, in my opinion, to trade a good player, a solid.
I don't want to go back here, but if I say that, for me saying that Hicks should be cut. They should eat the money. For me, that sounds like, that's too many demands. That's a logical move.
What do you mean?
Saying I want Hicks cut. I want Hicks off.
You should say that. He's not good.
Yeah.
Am I being? Is this gaslighting right now?
He's been terrible. Guys on base. He's horrendous.
I'm being gaslighted.
You shouldn't be sitting here crying like other Yankee fans about him being on the
annoyed.
team.
I mean, he shouldn't be on the team, but
when you're talking about the Yankees, that's one of the first problems that come up.
The outfield is there needs to be adjustment.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And by the way, in terms of the whole thing when you mentioned about Robinson Cano, the Mets didn't just feel like he needed to be cut.
The Padres did too.
Yep. So
3 for 33.
Ha Cano, just saying about the whole idea about not wanting to go to Syracuse.
Mets play San Diego.
Yeah,
in San Diego tonight.
Yeah,
some good pitching matchups most likely. Carrasco
Snell tonight, right?
When is speaking of the Padres? When is ATV Man supposed to be back for the Padres?
Motorcycle Boy should be back.
Motorcycle boy.
It's supposed to be motorcycle.
Yeah,
That was a
July.
motorcycle. Yeah. Oh my god.
That's Fernando Tatis, by the way.
Yes.
July. You know what's funny? And
Upcoming face of baseball ruined it for himself.
the Padres have been playing very well.
Yeah.
They've been pitching incredibly well.
They're what? 2 games back at the Dodgers?
Yeah, something like that. Apparently, Gary was reading the stats last night. They haven't been great offensively. It's been Machado and really a bunch of nothing. So we'll see how they are this week, this early week series.
They are 2 games back.
Let me ask you, if you had to make a power ranking right now, would the Padres be the 5th best team?
In baseball, National League.
In baseball.
Yeah.
Over the Brewers.
Yes.
Well, they just went and played very well against the Brewers, so I'd say yes.
Okay.
I would, and they're going to get right now. Yeah, they beat the Brewers. I agree.
Still feel confident about the World Series prediction?
The Blue Jays are playing well. The Blue Jays look back.
They're going to get in.
Well, they're not going to win the division.
No,
They're going to get in.
They look back.
Wild card? It's not
Yeah,
bad.
there's extra wild cards.
They're the one wild card, the number one
Red
wild card
Sox
spot right now.
would be in the playoffs right now if the season.
Oh, well,
crazy.
we're not worrying about them.
That
We're not
is
playing them for a
crazy.
while.
Well, you know what's really funny?
Said that last year.
They're the only
say that
team right now that I believe can get that last wild card spot.
Yeah.
Really, the Red Sox?
As of today,
Oh.
the Angels.
No, they're better than the Angels. I'm just saying.
I mean, do we think the White Sox are going to figure this out?
No.
I'm trending towards the no. They have the talent, though.
The Mariners have been terrible.
I have
Yeah.
more faith in the Red Sox than the White Sox, I'll tell you that, to figure things out and get moving forward.
The Red Sox, to me, this is almost inevitable, but they had one of the worst off seasons I think I've ever imagined.
No, they were bad.
I know we got to get to other stuff, but just for the argument about how the Yankees haven't played anybody.
Well, they play the Tigers.
No, but
I mean, that's pretty bad.
no, I mean like they haven't played anybody good.
That's what we're saying.
Right.
That's true.
Right. I mean, what team is there? Good team. They're like 2 good teams for them to play against.
That's true.
Yeah.
Three.
No, you're
In
right.
the American League.
Right. So I mean, that argument is very flawed too.
The Rays aren't bad.
No, but I'm just saying, like, they haven't played anybody. Well, there's really nobody
Jays,
doesn't play.
The Blue Jays, they smacked around. The Blue Jays are great, so you're right.
It's just an interesting argument.
Yeah, the very top heavy this year.
I see you're thinking about that. And by the way, they're going to play a first place team starting tomorrow, the Twins.
That's going to be tough.
That shouldn't even count. Like, that shouldn't even
The Twins
count.
are not that good.
No.
A, they're not that good, and B,
AL
we know what the
Central.
Yankees do to this team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make them like they're literally their little brother. They could be like the minor league team of the New York Yankees. That's how bad they are against them. They fold up and crumble like little kids.
The only thing that makes this series, I guess, a little bit better is Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela. That's the only.
Well, I mean,
Is it
that's
at
the
Yankee
thing.
Stadium or in Minnesota?
It's in Minnesota, I
Okay.
think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then maybe not.
They'll come to
guess
New York
not.
eventually.
When
They have to come
I
eventually.
should get tickets for the game one if Correa and Sanchez are playing.
At Yankee Stadium?
Boo Fest.
I think I'm going. Astro series.
Yeah, me too. I'm going as
Yeah,
well.
tickets. What day? Friday?
I don't know. I'm thinking Friday or Saturday.
I think I'm going
Nice.
Friday with a few people because I was supposed to go a couple weeks ago.
You can't boo Gio though. Big.
Oh no,
love
we
Gio.
can't. We
Urshela?
can't boo Gio Urshela.
Can't boo him.
Can't
No
boo
Yankee
him.
fan hates Gio.
Oh my God.
Why would you hate him? He was traded away. He didn't ask to leave.
Yeah.
Can't boo Gio Urshela. That guy's royalty. I've never seen a group of fans.
We did the same thing with Didi.
obsessed.
We did the same thing with Didi.
Yeah, Didi may be one of the worst players since 2020. And every time I see something on TikTok, it's, I wish the Yankees still had Didi Gregorius. He's been terrible. Terrible.
I'm sorry. Didi's still one of my favorite players. of all
So
time.
one of your
He
favorite
was-
players.
he
He's
was-
terrible.
Because he replaced Jeter, right?
He's terrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that why?
And he was fine. I mean, that wild card moment, everything. I love him.
Yeah.
Oh, we love him. The negative.
Hold on. No,
please.
Negative war boy. That's what he is.
Here's the question: would you take him or IKF right now?
Oh, IKF by a
exactly.
mile.
So stop with the DD crap.
Oh, I miss him so much. Oh,
I miss Naka a lot too, but that's different.
516-572-7440 is the number to join.
Do you miss Didi Gregorius? Call in.
No, I swear to God, if somebody calls in about Didi Gregorius, the phone is being hung up. I swear to God, I will hang up the phone.
You know now Justin's going to call us and say you miss Didi, right?
Anyway, we're going to skip basketball today. The NBA Finals. Boring.
Wow.
It was boring. It was so boring.
Game one
crazy.
Game one was all right.
Game one was good. Game two was terrible.
Jordan pulled that great shot, though.
The Warriors blew them out. That was the easiest 4.5 you could have possibly bet in your life. The Warriors are going to win that game and cover. They have two very streaky teams. Very streaky teams. So wouldn't really surprise me if Boston comes out on whenever that is, because we need to wait 4 days in between games for whatever reason.
I don't get that.
It's the stupidest thing ever. The NBA just doesn't get many things right.
Yeah.
And that's one of them. So we'll wait another week before the NBA returns, but we'll still talk about it nonstop, even though it's boring. Anyway, sorry. sorry.
I don't disagree.
This is interesting. The Rangers, who lose a really tough game of 41 seconds ago yesterday
Ross
against
is hitting himself in the face, literally
Tampa
hitting
Bay
himself in
Lightning.
the face right now.
How about this analysis, and then I'll let you guys talk.
Go ahead.
Trouba was awful yesterday.
$8 million for how many years for us? How many years for us?
3 penalties, 2 power plays that led to 2 goals for the Lightning.
5x8.
And then the third one cut off a 4-minute power play for the Rangers, made it only 2 minutes.
That penalty he had to do. Otherwise, it was going to be a shorthanded goal. I mean, I understand that penalty, but
right, fair enough.
At the same time, it just again, if he just controls a puck, the puck's not behind him. That's it. It is his fault.
He is one of the most frustrating players on this team, and there are a lot of them. Wow, that's a big jug of water there.
I just came from work. I haven't even been home yet.
You should be watching on Facebook Live. See the water cooler that Mike is drinking right now.
And it makes noises. The reason why I mute my mic, but now I got to talk because you're talking about it.
Okay, back to the Rangers really quickly. You know how we say some players in sports play hero ball, where they try to save the team, put the team on their back, and absolutely fall on their ass. Jacob Trouba, 2/3 of the time, does this, and it's frustrating because he's getting paid a lot of money too. This is a guy who is rumored by a lot of people to be the next Rangers captain, although he shouldn't be. Even when he was playing well, he shouldn't be. He just takes some of the worst penalties, and this is a team with Ryan Reeves. But at least with Reeves, you go like, that's what he does. He gets penalties, he takes penalties. That's his purpose. Jacob Trouba was supposed to be the anchor of this defense. He was supposed to be the number one guy before a little-known guy, Adam Fox, came up and took the team by storm, beating their best defenseman. Go ahead, Mike.
I have news very quickly when we get back to this.
Yeah.
The Rams have made a contract offer to Aaron Donald to extend him. It is 2 years for $65 million.
Oh, my God.
And it will allow him to retire or return in 2024 for an additional $30 million for that year. So he gets the raise that he wanted.
Is it fully guaranteed?
Fully guaranteed.
Oh, my goodness.
So it'll be... So if he does stay, he can get $95 million through 2024. So big news there for the Rams. They get their MVP level player back. Now you can continue with the Rangers, please.
I don't know what there else is really to say about Jacob Trouba.
Well,
there are other players in the team.
Yeah, there are other
played
players.
the game yesterday.
But, I mean, I don't want to sound like that guy, but he cost us the game. He really did. And I know there were soft calls, but I mean, it's the playoffs. They're going to call that. You got to have better awareness.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We all thought Trouba with that money he was going to be one of the better defensemen.
He was supposed to be Chris Chelios for us.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The issue too is, and again, this is why you never win a Stanley Cup with this way of playing. You cannot rely on your goaltender to win your Stanley Cup. You just can't do it, and it proved yesterday why you can't, because Shesterkin had 52 shots against. He had to face 52 shots, and the Rangers had 30. So that's your answer in terms of why you can't win, because Shesterkin, like, yes, you could say maybe one goal could he have had, but the point is he's made so many unbelievable saves. He's been unbelievable in these playoffs.
He should be allowed to give up that goal once in a while.
And you should be able to respond, and you should be able to have that bounce back. And the Rangers did not have that bounce back, especially after the first goal. And again, it never even felt like it was 2-0 because it was so quick. I mean, it felt like it was 1 goal, 1-0, 2-1, most of the game until the third period when we were pathetic. I would have, if I was the coach, I would have said the same thing as what he said after Game 5 against Carolina, where we were soft. They were soft. Let's call it the way it is. And the penalty kill was soft. The power play at the end was soft. they were all soft. No shots.
Too much passing.
Too much passing. And it just, like, they need to just, you have to force some things.
You have to shell Vasilevsky. You have to do what Tampa was saying in the locker room about, got to put more shots on Shesterkin.
Yeah.
You got to match that. You can't. And I don't want to sound like an old hockey head, but you got to stop the passing. You have an open lane, shoot it. Maybe look for a rebound here and there. Don't worry about the skill shots. Just fire the puck at the net.
Yeah,
and we saw this in the regular season too, where they would refuse to pass, and it cost them a few games.
Yeah, I mean, look,
refuse not to pass.
It's how. Look, and it's still a very good season, no matter what happens. By the way, they have overachieved and then some, the New York Rangers, regardless of what happens the rest of this series. And look, the fact, even as poorly as they played yesterday, the fact that you were one shot away, and also on top of it too, I know this is such a half glass, half full mentality. If I told you going into the season that we would be in this position in the Eastern Conference Finals, and not only that, be up 2-1 against Tampa Bay, I don't think anybody would have expected that.
How confident are you?
I think we're losing the series.
You really?
I think we're done.
You know what's funny?
What?
We're done.
Ross, you are very pessimistic. Very pessimistic.
I think that game, I think we won that game. I think we would have won the series.
Of course. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
You would have went up 3-0, of course. This team has come back from so much, and they don't have to come back from anything.
Well,
they have been able to just rinse whatever happened and come back the next day and play very well and just forget about what happened.
But Tampa's so much different.
Tampa played their best game yesterday, the best game of their series, maybe the best they could possibly play. And the Rangers played terribly yesterday, and they still, just got away with one. Just got away with the game.
Well, now we got to worry about Ryan Strome, who got injured, which is one of the weirdest injuries.
But Braden Point is out possibly for the rest of the postseason.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what's the consolation if they win this series and they get blown out by Colorado? Who's going to win tonight? They're going to win tonight.
They're going to sweep the Oilers?
You know what? Why don't you win this series before you worry about Colorado?
And again, the reason why I'm saying that I don't think we're winning this series, it's got nothing to do with the Rangers. I think the Rangers have a very good team, and they have a very bright future. There's no other brighter future than the New York Rangers. But Tampa Bay does have they have the Stanley Cups for a reason, and they know what it takes to win games like that, and they know what it takes to come back and win series. The New York Rangers are a team that is very young, and they have dealt with a lot. And look, could they come back from this? Absolutely. But what I do worry about is the Rangers. There's been a few games throughout these playoffs where they should have won. They've had a lead going to the third, and they've given it away.
But they didn't outplay them. They didn't outplay Tampa yesterday.
No,
I understand
they deserved to lose yesterday.
I understand the games you're talking about where they outplay the team and they lost the game.
Yeah.
Those are tough to come by, but I think they probably realize, and their coaches will realize, they didn't play well yesterday.
Yeah, and I hope they feel that way, and I hope this jumpstart them playing better tomorrow. But if I'm just saying, the Rangers, don't be surprised if they lost the series. I hope they win. Don't be surprised if they lost.
Wow.
They got a lot of money to spend in the offseason, too.
Pessimistic. I don't like it. I think the Rangers, we'll give a prediction tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow, so we'll give a score prediction tomorrow. That's all the time we got for today. What a great show. A lot of baseball, of course. I mean, listen, it's going to be a lot of baseball all summer if you're listening to WHPC. But thank you for listening to WHPC Sports Talk. For Matt Leonard, Anthony Deus, Ross Levine, and Elijah Blain, I'm Michael Merlo. Here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Have a great rest of the night, everybody.